what the hell is this? Like 450 or 500? Like if you want the Mario game, it's $450. That's not even including the tax. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, in my opinion. That's a lot of money. I'm not sure how the taxes are in Germany, but for us, like for me, the taxes here for each $100, like what for $1, my taxes is 7%. So for $1, 7 cents. For $10, 70 cents. For $100 is $7. So if I multiply this by 5, that's like an additional $35 for taxes. So if I buy this bundle here, it's like 530. So it's 540 basically. And if you want to add like your warranty in case it breaks or something like that, that gets even more expensive. I don't know for a bundle is crazy. 450 by itself, it is crazy. Like you guys gotta remember, like the Nintendo, the biggest thing with Nintendo is like it's usually cheaper. That's the thing that the Nintendo sells. It's like usually the Nintendo has bad graphics. Like I know that the graphics are better on the Switch too, but it's not gonna come. Is the graphic gonna compare to the Nintendo to the PlayStation? Like this PlayStation is like $500 if I'm not mistaken. I got the digital. I think the digital was like 450. Let me see. Right now it's even cheaper. So right now the PlayStation, if it's not the Pro, it's like $400. The Slim. And tell me one thing, you guys that might know more. The PlayStation, compare the PlayStation to the Switch 2. Which one is more powerful? Is the PlayStation like is the Switch 2 gonna be more powerful than the regular PS5? So is the Switch 2 more powerful than the because storage wise, I would tell you storage wise, I think the Switch 2 is only gonna have like 256 gig of storage memory, and the PlayStation comes like with a terabyte. Like they both have the same exact graphics, right? Because that's the thing. Like if you want to compare it, just compare it to the Pro, right? Like the PlayStation Digital Pro, like the Pro right now at Walmart. This is the Pro console. Okay. Let me go to PlayStation Direct just to make it easier. All right. Let me see. So right now, the Pro is $700. This is the Pro, which should be way more powerful than the. It comes with 2 terabyte right off the bat. Comes with all this shit. I'm guessing. Oh no, sorry. Doesn't come with all that shit. I'm so sorry. It's more expensive. You add the controller, whatever the hell they. $1,000 for an extra controller, and I fucking don't know what else comes with. It's a limited edition. That's fine. That's stupid. But anyway, so what is okay? A solid state 2 terabyte. The controller, 2 plastic, HDMI cable, AC, Astro. Okay, who cares about Astrobot? Okay, 120 FPS with 4K output and RAID. Boost backward compatible to make the regular PS5 games that are not PS5 Pro more better. It has okay for PS4 games, next level wireless, ultra high, okay, ray tracing, okay for KTV gaming, HDR, whatever the hell that is, the dual sense, adapt the triggers to simulate whatever. Okay, so that's the Pro, right? The Pro is stronger, right? And it's gonna be what? It's $200 more. And not only that, you get a controller with the PlayStation. On the Switch, you don't really get a controller. Like a lot of people I prefer the controller, like the wireless controller compared to using the side buttons. But it depends on you guys. Let me see. But the Switch 2 can also be better than Xbox Series X. That means there is not also many different. Well, I don't even talk about the Xbox because the Xbox is really bad. The Xbox is really bad. Yeah, but the Pro Floss Extreme, I mean, not more disc launcher. Well, it depends. Like, so if you want to share your game, you have to have it digital. Because if you have, if for example, when I buy a game on the PlayStation, I prefer buying it digital because that way my girlfriend could play the game. Because if not, I have to buy two copies of the physical disc. And let me tell you guys, like right now, today, digital is like you don't really own the copy. But give it like 5 to 10 years, there's gonna be laws where if you buy something digitally, it's gonna become yours forever. But right now, we're still in the transition stage. There is still consoles still doing digital, but it's gonna be, it's gonna be eventually where there's not gonna be no more like physical copies. Physical copies will just be for collectors, and that's it. And Xbox already gave up on consoles. They're gonna be focusing on cloud gaming, which is the best bet for them. So that's why, like, I wouldn't even consider Xbox. Let's get rid of all the gaming company. Search how powerful the Switch 2 is, better than the PS4 Pro. That's why I'm gonna go ahead. How long did it take you to get 100 subscribers? Like in the beginning, I don't know. Baby, are you asking me? I don't know. It took me, I think, a very long time. Digital also possible. No, I know that the Switch has a digital, but I want to see the specs on the. I want to see it on the page. I want to see the specs here. All right. So the best, like the little bit of specs they have here is, okay. The screen is okay. So the Nintendo Switch we already know is portable. So that's the biggest gimmick for the Switch. There's a if you're playing on the Switch, it's 1080, and if you connect it to the TV, you get the 4K resolution. It supports the HDR, VVR, I don't know what it is, and up to 120. All right. We have the snap. There's wireless, and it's a mouse now. That's fine. TV and game must be compatible with 4K resolution. Frame rates are capped at 60 frames per second for the 4K output. I don't think that's capped for the PlayStation though. I think the PlayStation will really go ahead. Yeah. So the Pro doesn't say anything about capping. Up to 120 FPS with 4K output. See? Well, that's fine that the HDR screen is better than the PlayStation Portable console, but not a lot of people are gonna be running around with like. First of all, the PlayStation Portable console came way before the Switch. I don't even know what's the price for that, and we could go ahead and find out. I'm comparing. So what I'm trying to say is like, does it matter to get it? So what consoles can we get? PlayStation Portable. Yeah, that's the comparison I'm trying to make. Like the PlayStation Portable, or Portal, it's just $200. You see, and you can't expect this one to be better than the Switch, especially the Switch 2, right? You can't really expect that. That'll be, that'll be, not fair, right? Like that's not fair at all. That's fine, I understand that the console has to be on, but that makes sense that it's $200, right? So this is not the console, and it's $200, and you play all your PlayStation game. So I get that, right? But look at the price. You could buy two of this and half of another one. When you compare the PS5, right away, the PS5 is already more powerful, and this is the Pro, and it is more expensive. Fine, but again, it's like, you're competing with all the consoles. Like the Nintendo Switch is competing with all the consoles right now. Now, what is the other? Like, there's not so much specs. Like, they ain't add like so much specs to this. Okay, yeah. How much storage does it have? Because yeah, no one cares about the mouse and the chat. Okay, good. The camera. Okay. That's what I want to see. Okay. Okay, take advantage of power processing. Okay, enjoy smoother frames. All right. Yeah, I want the specs, man. Look at this. You only get 256 gigs of storage. See? I'm not sure if you're gonna have another like you could put memory card. Okay, you could expand it with a memory card. That's gonna make it more expensive because for you to get a memory card, I'm not sure how many memory cards you could get, but for you to get a 2 terabyte memory card, I'm pretty sure that is gonna be more expensive. You see what I'm trying to say? And that's bad. Correct. If you buy a PS5, just the regular one, which is, if I'm not mistaken, right now it's cheaper. The regular PlayStation 5 is way cheaper right now. Look at this. The digital edition. Forget the and it comes with a game. For right now, let's forget about what is this one? 450 digital edition. Not sure. There's so many of them now. Is this supposed to be a slim? This is a refurbished. All right, you get this one. This is $400. It's a slim model. Let's see what the slim model has. Let's check the specs. So, okay. It already comes with the Astro Bot. It's a whatever game, but hey, it still comes with a game. You get a terabyte of storage. That's 4 times what the this guy does, the Nintendo Switch. Alright, no one cares about all that. Okay, ray tracing, 4K TV ready gaming, smooth and fluid high frame gameplay at up to 120 frame per second at 120. Okay, not sure if that's gonna cap for the 4K. It doesn't say. It has that HDR, whatever, Tempest audio, whatever. Okay, adaptive triggers, blah blah, backward compatible, and game boost. You see? You see? To me, this one matches the graphics as the for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I know the I think like this Switch has like 128 or something. I don't even know how many um storage I have on the regular Switch, to be honest. Remember how I told you that Gmon was 100 gigabytes? Yeah, I think you mentioned it. Yeah, if you buy, look, you don't even have like this is the Slim right now. So this is like the newer version of the original PlayStation. It's the Slim, and it's $400 cheaper than a Nintendo Switch 2. And if I'm not mistaken, you just connect a mouse and keyboard to the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, to the PlayStation. So if you want to use mouse and keyboard, that's by all means, go ahead for it. All right. In addition to Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive game, Nintendo Switch 2 can play compatible Nintendo Switch's game. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital. Okay. Okay, I thought this was sharing. What is this game share? Well, Nintendo Switch 2, you can no thanks. You can game share to share supported games with friends and family, even if they don't have the game. Everyone can play together. Okay, that's whatever. Game with compatible games with anyone who has a Nintendo Switch 2, or that way everyone can play the game even if they don't have it. But that's only if the game. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is only gonna be for games that are like compatible, like multiplayer games. That's it. That's like that. That's still not like that's not appetizing enough for me to go crazy for it. Yeah, on PlayStation you can game share. Yeah, I lied by accident. It was only 5 gigabyte. Oh, okay. 800 did sound crazy, and the good thing is you can play your Switch 2 also everywhere. 3D audio is also now. The ray tracing also, but not all games, but many of them, and a built microphone that can vary distance. I see, but what I'm trying to say is like the Switch 2 is a good system. and it is something you could play anywhere. And I agree. You know, I'm not disagreeing there, right? What I'm trying to say is the Switch 2, like right now, you buy just a regular PlayStation, right? Not this one, the cheap one. This one that even comes with a game. It's $400, and you spend $600. You buy this one, and then you buy that little handheld, and you can leave it on because you know you can remote start your PlayStation. Because I used to do it with the Nintendo with the PlayStation Vita. I just put PlayStation, and I'm hoping the handheld will show up. No, PlayStation. How the hell did I? A power. How the hell I cannot get it again? Oh, okay. It's an accessory. I'm an idiot. So you spend $600. So right now you buy this handheld. That is only what 60 frames per second. It doesn't get that good. And then you buy a regular PlayStation. It's $600, and then you can play remote. Yeah, you may need Wi-Fi. All right. Well, a lot of people have hotspots. You know, you can play mostly anywhere. Maybe it'll be harder to play in a car trip. Fine, but again, you're gonna get more out of these two systems than and let me tell you one thing. I actually was playing on my phone. I got this thing, and Google gave it to me for free. Oh, where is it? And it's for Xbox. It's an Xbox thing. You see this, and this is whatever. But this thing, you put your phone, and it's like an Xbox controller, and you put your phone there, right? With this, you can remote start your computer, and it's with your phone. That's with your phone. You got a Steam link because you could all have the Steam on that, right? You go, it does a Steam link, and you go and you can play all the Steam games you have. It's like a grip, but at the same time, it has like it makes it like easy to like play the games. But yeah, it's a grip, and you could literally you download the Steam Link app, and the controller connects because it's not only just a controller; it also has like a system. It's almost like a system, and basically you could play your phone, and it played like I was playing Helldiver on that, and it was running really smooth. And if you go anywhere with Wi-Fi, you're good. If your internet, like if you don't have like T-Mobile, which kind of sucks, like their network, but you use maybe like AT&T or Verizon, I think their network's a little better, and you're good. That's it, and that's like $150. You know, like if you want to compare like other system to the Switch, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like the Switch, like the games on the Switch, like the Switch is very like kids. There's some good games on the Switch that is like Dustborn, for example. Like I'm saying, like Dustborn is gonna be one of the games that is gonna actually bring a lot of players to the Nintendo Switch. That's the game that is actually gonna bring a lot of players to the Switch. But all the other games that it has is like whatever. And what I'm trying to say is like if you already have the regular Switch, like if you have the regular Switch right now, right? What games that is coming out is gonna be right away coming out if they like compatible with the Switch, like if that Donkey Kong game, for example, if that Donkey Kong game is gonna only be Switch 2 and you wanna get it because you really wanna play it, that's fine. I'll say that's fine. But if it comes out for the regular Switch, like I don't know if it's gonna come out for both. But let's say it comes out for both, then there's no point of getting it. There's no point because you're gonna spend, man. Where's the pricing? Man, it's $500. Where's the pricing for it? I'm dying to see the pricing again. Nah, 450 just the game, just the system, and 500 for the game. That's insane. That's insane. And if you get the controller, that's another $80. Just the memory is 200. If it for the it's $60 for another 256 gig, and we don't know how big these games are. That's a really good question when it comes out. How big the game are? That is insane. That is insane. That is insanity. I'll be honest. That's insanity right there. Oh, that's pretty cool. I should play that. I should buy that controller to play Mario. I should buy these controllers to really play the OG games. That's insane. I want to see the games. You have that controller. That's awesome because you still. I see. It's smart to buy a PS5 than buy a Switch because it's cheaper. And if you have a regular Switch, most games come out will be on there too. And that's the thing. And because you still want to buy a SD card for more storage, and that's the that you're and that's why I'm getting at Quavon. It's just it doesn't make sense to really buy a game that is only Switch 2. Like let's see this Donkey Kong game. Is this if this is only a Switch 2? Let's see. I want to learn more. Yeah, so only Switch 2. If it's only Switch 2, then yes, that's something you may want to buy. Because it's only Switch. Okay, only on Switch 2. That's the only thing that I would say if you really want to play this game and you're willing to pay $500 just to play that game, go for it. Go for it. I'm trying to see what other. This one says Nintendo Switch 2 edition, so I don't know if they're gonna have a regular Nintendo Switch. I know this is only for Switch 2. Well, like I said, look, what I'm trying to explain, Speedy, is like, so there's games like, let me see, if the new Donkey Kong game is Switch 2, understandable. Of course, you gotta buy it. It's only Switch 2, but you will risk $500 for one game. I don't know. And that's where I was gonna go for Quavon. If you're gonna spend $500 just to play one game, then that's not worth it. Like, unless no, don't get me wrong. 2026, you get Dust Blood. That's a really damn good game. It's a Souls game. But what happens like by 2026, you're probably gonna have maybe 5, 6, like you have some exclusives, right? And it doesn't say when on 2026. It could be November of 2026. Who knows? It doesn't seem like it's gonna be on January of 2026. So let's say in 1 year, let's say that this game comes out in July, in April of next year, right? 2026. Now you have this game, maybe this Metroid, even though it seems like it's gonna be on the regular Switch. And no one cares about Kirby Air Ride. I honestly doubt that people gonna just really go crazy for it. This Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I'm not sure if it's like a new game only exclusive for the. It doesn't say if it's exclusive and if it's a new from the Warriors. Like if it has a good catalog of like at least minimum 10 games that are exclusive to to the Switch 2 and they're really good, then I say yes, that's not a bad idea, because right now 3D Mario is coming, but which type of 3D Mario? It's smarter to buy the Switch 2 later into the year because you'll be closer to exclusive game and still have enough time to get the SD card for storage. I agree there. And that's the thing. How big are these games? Because this game, I highly doubt this game is just like 30 gigabyte. This game will probably be like a good 50 gigabyte. I hope I'm wrong. It's not gonna say the specs, but of course it's not. It's not. I doubt it's gonna give the. I want the specs. Like, how big is this game gonna be? We'll announce the new 3D because we all knew there would be a 3D Mario on console. I see. I see. Because you're gonna buy Switch 2 and one whole game takes up the storage and you still gotta pay extra for the Switch. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And you're right there, Quavon. And that's why I want to get an idea. How much is that game gonna cost? Like, how much is that game gonna cost? Here, let's do Switch 2. It doesn't have a price tag yet. This one's gonna be 60. And isn't Nintendo gonna raise the prices to 80 supposedly? Wasn't that like one of the things that supposedly was gonna be changing? They have a free demo, so that's a 60. Does it say how big the game is? Because I am very curious of how big the game is gonna be. It does not say. I hate that it's not saying. I hate that it's not telling you how big it's gonna be. $8.3 GB. Pretty small. But I'm kind of curious. Well, this is the demo. This is release date January 16th, 2025. That's the demo. We need to see the real game. When the real game comes out, we need to see how big that game is going to be. You love the style of the games? 200% later, there is only one heart, and you need to collect stuff? Huh. Yeah, that's just a demo, and it's 8.3. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, yeah, it doesn't even say how big the game is gonna be. And that's where I'm getting at. So the system is gonna be also the Nintendo Switch. So the Metroid is also gonna be on the Nintendo Switch. Let me see. I did not click on the right thing. Nintendo Switch, okay. Wait, this Donkey Kong Country returns. I'm sorry. That's a return. That's not even... Yeah, it's not even showing me the Bonanza one. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, that's not gonna help. I want to see the coming soon. Where's the coming soon? Coming soon. Yeah, there's not even that much information. I love it. I love how they're not even giving you that information. Like, you're not even seeing the price of these games. That's the thing. Like, you don't even have the prices for the game. This one is not even showing the price. Learn more about this game. $70. $70. It's gonna be $70. Yep. Because I saw Donkey Kong, and I honestly was stupid. It's like 8 GB, Speedy. Yeah, the new one. I'm pretty sure the new one is gonna be 50 or 60 gigs. There's no way a game that looks like this, with everything it does, with the processing power that it needs, and how it's an exclusive for the Nintendo Switch 2, it's impossible that this game that is open world is gonna just be 8 gigs or 10 gigs. No, it could be 55 gigs. That's why I said 50 first, and I'll say between 50 to 60. Sounds good. But there's no way. Yeah, yeah. We all in agreement there. There's no way that this game is gonna be like 10 gigs or nothing like that. 52? Yeah. Whatever it is gonna be, it's definitely it's gonna, and that's if they don't add any DLCs to it or anything, you know? Who knows if they add anything else to it. And $70, that is expensive. That is expensive. That's usually a lot of the games on the PlayStation is like what 60, and then it's 70 if you get like the one kilobyte. Yeah, no, if it's 1 kilobyte, it'll be ping pong or pong. Because the game is high quality. Yeah, it's high quality, as I'm saying. So you're gonna only be able to, like, if you get high quality games, you're probably gonna only have like 3 to 4 games on the Switch 2. That's gonna be just 3 to 4 games, because we all know that you still need like some storage for like the system information. You're not gonna get those whole 256 gig of storage, because you need the storage, the system information. That's number one. So you're probably gonna get like what, maybe like 240. Mortal Kombat on 11 on Switch is 32 gigs of RAM. I mean, of storage. I can't imagine. I can't imagine this game then. We might be wrong. It might be 80. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I honestly, I feel like the Switch 2 is whatever. Like, I'm gonna get it. You know, I'm gonna get it eventually, but I will get it on 2026. I honestly gonna get it like on 2026. I'm not getting it like right off the bat. I'll get it in 2026, a year later. I doubt the price is gonna drop. I honestly doubt it. But and who knows if they make another Switch, but it'll probably be like in 2-3 years. But like a Switch OLED 2 or whatever the hell they want to call it. And it comes with more storage. But yeah. I feel like when you buy a new console from Nintendo, I feel like they should just give you like 500 gigs of storage. You have enough. Yep. No. They should. Like I said, like, look at this. The Pro comes with 2 terabytes right away. 2 terabytes. That's the Pro right there. 2 terabytes. So not only does it have better graphics and stuff like that, the storage is 2 terabytes. Like, compared to the Switch, the storage is 8 times more bigger than the Switch. And the winter price drop, I doubt it is gonna drop that much unless they have a new console. It's like, you know, the Slim is cheap because they have a Pro. That's the only reason. And obviously the Pro didn't do so well. The reason why the Pro didn't do so well, because the Pro is more, if you're gonna be playing on 4K, go for the Pro. But if you're gonna be playing like, and if you want 120 frame per second, but if you're gonna be playing like, you know, you're just a regular gamer, you get the 120 right here. Maybe not in 4K, but that's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. You're still spending $400 for a system that is gonna do really good. Like, not everyone, like, I don't care about playing 4K. I don't play in 4K. And I'm cool with 60 frames per second. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, because if I want to get all those frames and shit like that, then I'll just play on the PC. You're gonna get better on the PC. Like, the PCs are gonna be more powerful than any of these consoles for a long shot. And you get way more games on PC. Yes, but the PS5 console is not handheld. The PS5 Pro is much bigger than normal console to have the 2 terabyte and the Switch. It just seems still, like I said, like it's cool about the handheld, right? But where are you gonna go and you play on the Switch? Like, how many times you're gonna be traveling? Like, if you're a gamer, how much are you gonna travel? Like the PlayStation comes with 2 terabyte. Well, the Switch comes with 256. You still have to buy extra storage. No, and you're gonna have to buy a lot of extra storages. But think about this: like, if you're a gamer, how many times you're actually gonna be gaming handheld? The first Switch 350. It was very very crazy. You upgrade because 1080 on the 4K on the docking, 120 frame. But like I said, like the so look, the Switch, right? I'm not sure if it was the regular Switch. I know the OLED was like 350, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure the regular Switch. I'm gonna have to check that right quick. Let me see. So the Nintendo Switch released at $300. The OG one, $300. See, $300 for a handheld system that we all know that the Switch is like whatever. It is a Nintendo system. We Nintendo Switch system is always cheaper. It's always been cheaper. That Glorio is getting a unique equipment. Glorio is getting a unique equipment. Oh, that's insane. You know that's gonna probably make him really strong. He's probably gonna be like better than Majin Cool. Why can't we just paint the logo blue and say, "Look, it's Sega," and then it would be funny. That would be awesome. I don't know about the express card that you're mentioning. Um, but regardless, the card, the SD card that you could download that you could put in the Switch 2, that's $60. So think about this, Speedy. You buy a system that is $450 because you're gonna get it without the game, right? It's 450. Because let's say you don't care about Mario Karts and you get just a system, it's 450, right? Plus tax. I'm not even gonna include tax. 450. Now you need $60 for the SD card. So now you're spending $510 for that one system with an SD card because it does not have enough storage. And the games are gonna be big if you buy the exclusive one. Like I'm pretty sure that the Dust Blood, which is like a Bloodborne game, that's gonna be like probably close to 100 gigabyte. That's gonna be close to 100 gigabyte right away, instantly, right? So you're already losing a quarter, almost. What? Let me see, a fifth of your memory. That doesn't make sense. You're spending $510 for a system that is like not even complete, to be honest. And yes, it is handheld, but like I said, how many times are you gonna be playing handheld? Like if you're on your bed, why are you gonna be on your bed playing when you're gonna be? You could just play like me, like I play out here. Like why would I pay $500 just to hold the system if I could play it right here without worrying about battery or anything? I'm pretty sure, and we don't even know how good the battery is for the Switch 2. Because those games are going to be more powerful. Who knows if the battery doesn't even last that long? That's something that we're going to find out soon enough when it comes out. So if the battery, if you're playing the Donkey Kong game or Dust Blood because it's heavier games and the battery like dies within an hour, then you have a handheld system for an hour. Doesn't mean anything. The Switch 2 physical games, not more cartridge. It downloads code. So the Switch 2 games, not more cartridge, is download code. So then it's just digital. Technically, it's just a digital game. It's not physical. You're just downloading because if you can't hold it physically, that's it. It's digital. For Nintendo fan, it's really big. Battery was leaked. You can Google it. I would say, until we don't know, the system has to come out because right now the battery, even though it sounds powerful, I want to know in what game. I want to know how long it's gonna last on the big games, and we'll find out when people make YouTube videos about it. Blue Goku getting a unique equip too. Blue Goku? Which Blue Goku? The Super Saiyan 4? No, right? Not that Super Saiyan Blue Goku, right? Because that'll be crazy. Oh, the one with endurance. Oh shit, I haven't even summoned that one. Oh, he's gonna probably be really powerful too. Because those characters are pretty new. The cartridge download codes have much more power actually than digital. But what do you mean download code? Like are you gonna be able to download? Like you're gonna have a physical, cartridge that, because if it has download codes, that's weird. Like that's where I'm kind of curious. Like what do we mean? But anyway, this this was good. The Switch when it came out, $300. That's good. That's actually good. Let me see. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. So this is how they're doing it. Nintendo has introduced a new type of cartridge called Game Keycard that will not contain the full game data. Instead, this game keycard will contain a code or key that allows users to download the full game to their Switch 2 system. That's bad. That's a digital game. That's a digital game. You're basically have a digital game. That's not a physical game. That's not a physical game. If they remove that game, if they remove the game from the library and you have that game key card and it's not on their server, you're not gonna be able to download the game because the game is not in the cartridge. It's not you're not gonna be able to play the game. That's actually bad. Basically, the Nintendo Switch is a physical is a digital game system. Yeah, no, it's bad. They moving straight to digital. It is digital. It's like this is digital. That's digital. That's bad. That right away. That's bad right away. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this is not good. Like that's not good. If the cartridge has the full game, for example, then you don't need that much storage data. Because usually, if I'm not mistaken, the storage data is like not the storage data. Like the only reason why you're gonna run out, like the Switch has such a small storage because usually you're not gonna buy the digital game. You're gonna buy physical game, so you don't need that much storage. Now this is gonna focus on store. Like you're gonna be downloading the game. You don't have a game. The cartridge, any Switch 2 game is basically a digital game. So if there are 80 gigs, you're gonna be losing 80 gigs. You're gonna have to delete games. So you could be able to keep a lot of games in the Switch. Like that's bad. That's actually really bad. I didn't even know that. Let's see the battery. Let's see. Look at this. This from the AI. The Nintendo Switch 2 battery life in the handheld mode is estimated to be between 2 to 6 hours and a half, which is comparable to the original Switch battery life, but less than the revised 2019 one. You know what that means, right? The OLED offers 429. Look at that. I'm going by what the AI, right? Because they could test the system, right? Well, right. So you gotta be careful, Speedy. Like obviously, um there's gonna be bias, right? Like if you're a big Nintendo person and they give you slob, you're gonna still take it. Oh, the Switch, the OLED. So the OLED, which is the revised one, lasts 4.5 to 9 hours. And the games on the OLED obviously are like gacha. The original one was 2.5 to 6 hours and a half. So basically, in the original, the OG, which was $300, and the Switch 2 lasts basically the same. The OLED lasts longer. So you still are losing. Like regardless, you're losing. Because let's be honest, that Donkey Kong game you want to play, that game is gonna last you 2 hours. That game gonna last you 2 hours. That game is not gonna last you this whole 6 hours. Because that's a heavy game. And if you're playing it with 120 frames per second, like if you're playing it at full graphics, you're not gonna get the 6.5 ever. Yeah, when you test it, you could let me know how it goes. But I'm telling you, like we all know it's not gonna happen. All right, Quavon, take it easy, man, and thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna pretty soon head out because it's already midnight for me. I'm telling you, like it's obvious that it's not gonna last that long. Like I'm trying to tell you, but I'm not doing this so that people don't buy a Nintendo Switch. I don't care if anyone buys a Switch, a Switch 2. I'm just being like, you gotta be conservative at what you buy. Right away from stock. Like it's nice to have the whatever is the new toy, but if you go ahead and buy the new toy, it doesn't. I don't know how much watt it has, and I'm not sure how, but I would say that it doesn't matter how much watt it has, right? Because we all know. So the Nintendo Switch, like the one we have here, like this one, like this Nintendo Switch. Well, you can't really estimate it, right, Speedy? You know why you can't really estimate it as much? Because it depends on the performance of the game. If you're playing a really heavy game like Dust Blood or that Donkey Kong game, because the graphic is so good, it's gonna kill your battery way faster. It doesn't matter how much watt it has; it's gonna kill it way faster because compared to the regular Switch, you don't have the graphic performance to kill it that fast. Because the Switch only is 60 frames per second and probably just 1080 and all that, is gonna obviously last longer than a game that is really strong. On docking station, the console all-time loading. Yeah, on docking is different, and I agree with you on the docking, but then it kills the purpose of the handheld. You see what I'm trying to say? And that's the point that I'm trying to get at. The biggest selling point for the Switch is that it's going to be handheld. If you're playing a really powerful game and it's going to die quickly, then it's no point of playing handheld. Because after 2 hours, you're going to have to stop playing or less. Because remember, as you keep charging it, the battery keeps getting weaker over time. So from the package, it might last you the whole 2 hours. Eventually, it might last you just 30 minutes. No, that's fine, Speedy. Like, what I'm trying to say, like, the handheld is nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with playing handheld, but that's different. See, the 3DS is a handheld. You can't dock it. It's gonna last you like it's a handheld. It's just pure handheld. The regular DS, the Game Boy Advance, the SP, all of those are just handheld. It's just a handheld game, and they were cheaper. They were cheaper compared to the OG PlayStation, all that. That's the whole purpose. But what I'm trying to do here is compare, like, the USB port means you can also use a power bank. Well, that's a problem with the power bank. If you're using a power bank, if you're running the Switch on the power bank, then you're good. But if the power bank is charging your battery on the Switch, it's going to kill your battery. Because if you're playing on any system that has a battery and you're charging it and at the same time you're using it, you kill the battery. So eventually, and this happens to laptops and phones especially. So basically, after a while, after like a year or so, you're going to go ahead and it's not going to even last you those 2 hours to 6.5 hours. It's going to last you like 1 hour to 3 hours. Okay, you know the tech stuff. So if with that information, you already should know that the power bank is going to actually be worse. Because if you want to extend that battery life, for your system to last longer, you're just gonna be able to play those 2 hours and then let it rest for a little bit, then charge it. Because if the battery is really high and then you charge it right away, probably gonna mess up the battery. So that's the thing. So you see what I'm trying to get at. The PlayStation right now, currently, I don't know the next system, but the PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 will be a better deal to buy compared to Nintendo Switch 2. That's what I'm trying to say. Because it's not like a big ass deal. Now, I'm not saying don't buy a Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to play Dust Blood, so I'm going to buy it for that specific game. What I'm trying to say is, if you buy it right away, where there's no category yet for the game, just to play the compatible, like the just a regular Switch game, but in better graphics, then that's not the best idea. But when you make the battery saving mode and bridge list down, it'll be fine. But if you're putting your system in battery saving mode, it's gonna kill the graphics, because you're gonna need more battery to be able to support the higher graphics. You can't put it on battery saving mode and then play it at a lower graphics. I'm trying to. So what I'm trying to do is explain how, even though it's handheld, if you want to play it at its max graphics, it's gonna kill your system instantly. So it's not gonna really help that it does all these things handheld, and it could do, like, it's so powerful handheld, if you can't play it at its peak, and you have to put it on the docking station. Because if you have to dock it, then you're just buying a regular PlayStation. That's what I'm trying to say. No, I get it. I'm not saying that the Switch 2 is better than the regular Switch. What I'm trying to say is, it's not that much of a big difference. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, it's 1080 compared to 7020. Okay, now you're still paying $500. Like, if you compare the Switch 2 to the Switch 1, the Switch 2 will always come on top. But if you compare the Switch 2 to a PlayStation Slim that is $400 right now, with a game, not the best game, but it still has a game, and with more memory, because it still comes with 1 terabyte. See? You get a whole game, and you have a whole terabyte. That's 4 times, right? It's $400. You get the Switch. Let's go. Where's the buy? Where is it? Switch 2. Just let's right now go only for the game. Here's the Switch 2, just the game, the system, right? It only has that 1 memory. It doesn't have the second one. If you want more memory, you're gonna have to pay $60. I think it was down here, which is the one for the Switch 2. I don't know where it's at right now. This for the regular Switch. I don't know where they have the memory for the Switch, but we all saw that it was $60. So you're gonna have to buy. Let me see. Can I just put the Switch 2? I can't. Well, anyway. Oh, perfect. Where's the memory? Doesn't have the memory? Refurbished. Cases and more. Where is it? It has a memory. We saw it earlier. $60 for the memory for the 256. Not sure why it's not coming up. Oh, I keep passing. It's right here. Here's the memory. For the Switch 2, here's the memory. 256. It's $60. You see? So when you're buying it, and from the moment that you have to buy the memory, it's actually here. That is that Mario was there. I didn't see the memory. So right now, right away, it's $500. You're still gonna spend $510. Official release is June 5th. Oh, that's like in a month. But that's what I'm trying to say. See, right away, there you go. Like right away, it's $510. And if you're playing docking, most likely you're gonna get the controller, the Pro controller, because these controllers are not as comfortable as the Pro controller. So think about that. You're gonna have to spend $560 for the memory, and then another $80. That's $590. That's $600. You're gonna spend $600 to get a controller. Because when you're docking it, I'm telling you, when you're docking it, you're not gonna play it on this controller. This controller is not as comfortable to play when you're docking it. It's more it's comfortable to play it on like this because you have no choice. But this is the controller you're gonna use when you're playing it, docked. So that's another $80. You're spending like right now and that's without a game. You're spending without a game $600. With the game is $650. You see, that's way more than on the PlayStation. Again, like I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to be like honest. You could use the Switch stuff. I'm not sure about the Switch, the Pro controller, right? I can't say until like if they have a Pro 2, there has to be a reason why they have a Pro 2 controller. Like for example, the chat. You won't be able to use the chat if it doesn't have the two. If you don't use the Pro 2 controller, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong. But you're gonna want to get like it's not regardless. Even if you use the let's say it does work with the regular Pro controller, right? Okay, let's say it does work with the regular controller, right? It's not a big difference. Look how much is the wireless controller, right? For the regular the regular Switch. And this is like this wire. They're $50 basically. They're $50. You see what I'm saying? So you still got like you're saving like 10 or $15. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're still going back to the same thing. Here's a console, see? Without the refurbish. We don't want to count the refurbish. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like this beats all of the Nintendo stuff. At least that's how I see it. Like I see it more like what will be more benefit for your pocket? Like what will benefit your pocket more? So that's fine, Speedy. Like if you don't like the Pro controller, that's fine. Yeah, well, but regardless, like if you use the Nintendo 64 controller, it's not gonna be cheap either. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a good $50-$60. What I'm trying to say is like you still need to buy controllers. Like the PlayStation only has one controller. That's it. Like you're only playing that one controller. I think they have a newer one too, but that's it, right? For the Pro, I think they have a Pro controller too. But when you buy the system, you get the controller. Like you don't have to buy the controller separately. You see what I'm trying to say? You already get the controller included. You're not doing that. That's what I'm trying to say. Because these little controllers are not as comfortable. I know because I've used the regular Switch controller. They're not as comfortable. Even when you play with two people, it's not as comfortable. You prefer two Pro controllers, And I'm just being realistic, Speedy. Like I'm not being mean. I'm not saying the PlayStation is the best system. I'm not. Because the PlayStation is expensive too. What I'm trying to say is like the Nintendo Switch 2 is a very expensive system. And it doesn't do more than the PlayStation. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the new Pro controller has a new button. So if you want that new button, you need to spend $80 additional. That's what I'm trying to say. You see? And that's where I'm trying to, that's where I'm trying to get at. That the Switch 2 is basically more expensive than the PlayStation. Because if you want all the stuff that this system has, the $400 system, if you want everything that this system does, you're going to spend more money. It's $20 more if you have the old controller. You see? But if you don't have, like, let's say tomorrow I buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't have the old controller. It's going to be $80 because the Pro is $80. It's right here. It's not $20. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, when you buy the Switch, you're just getting the Switch. You're not getting the controller. You're not getting the memory card. Like, the full console is $450. I'm sorry, because you need a game at least. So $500, 80, 580, 640. There you go. It's six, and I'm not even including taxes. Right now, you want the full experience. Like, let's say I'm gonna buy this for my son. Let's say my son is like 8, 9 years old. He's a lot into the Switch now, hypothetically, right? And he wants this for Christmas. Well, for Christmas, I'm gonna have to get him the Switch 2, the controller, and the SD for the full system. This is the full system. It has a game, it has the system, it has a controller, and it has the memory. That's $150 right there. But alternatively, I buy him this game, this system. I spend $400. Here it comes the controller. It comes with a game, and it's as powerful as this. The only difference is not handheld. All right, it's not handheld. That's fine. He could play when he gets home. Yeah, what I mean about unique cost. If you want that controller, I don't know if it will. You 100% people will be buying that controller, and the difference about the Switch 2 Pro controller and the One Pro controller for the new button, you need cost $20 more for the new version. That's what I mean. Well, I see what you're saying, but now this is a good question. Okay, it has a game chat. Okay, it also has the GL and GR button. Okay, that lets you map. It has a headset to jack in for the for chat, right? The regular Pro doesn't have the headset to jack in for a jack. I have the Pro. This is a Pro. I have the Pro. I have two. I have the. This is my girlfriend's, and I have the Legend of Zelda for me, right? It doesn't have like you can't put the audio, right? Which is something that the PlayStation and the Xbox One is doing since like the PS3. See? That you see what I'm trying to tell you? Like the Nintendo Switch 2 is releasing a PlayStation 5. Literally, it's releasing a PlayStation 5. That's it. And you won't even get the full power if you're on handheld. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like I don't, I'm not trying to be like, what I'm trying to like tell you is like, if you're gonna be using it for the chatting and stuff like that, you're gonna want to get this controller. Unfortunately, you're gonna be forced to get that controller because if you get the regular Pro, it's not gonna be as good as the. And I want to check. I want to check now that you mentioned the Switch 2. I want to check if the Switch 2 comes. It does allow the controller. All right, so it will. All right, yes, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller will work with the Nintendo Switch 2, allowing you to continue. Okay. Well, at least if that's the case, at least that's not that bad. If you already have it. Well, I don't care about the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are lame. Like, I don't like the Joy-Cons. I'll be honest. Like, the regular Switch Joy-Cons, I don't like. So, I'm not I'm not crazy about the Joy-Cons. Yeah, the Switch 2 controller has the headphone connector like the Xbox and PS5. But, like, that's been on for, like, since the PS3, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about the PS3, I'll be honest. I think the PS3 didn't have it. But this is a PS4 controller. This is a PS4 controller. It is right here. Right here. Right here. That's a PS4. It's been doing it for a while. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I know because I've used the PS4 for years.